They say divorce is like death, but there's a cruel difference. The person you lost, they're still alive. They're out there, breathing the same air, walking the same earth, just not with you anymore. You see them move on. You watch them smile on photos you're not in anymore. You hear they're happy now, laughing with someone else. And every single time, it feels like your heart is being buried, over and over and over again. But here's the question nobody wants to ask out loud. Why does it hurt this much? Why do some people never fully recover, even 5, 10, 20 years later? What happens in the brain, the body, the soul that makes divorce feel like a wound that never quite closes? Stay with me, because what you're about to learn might finally help you understand the pain you've been carrying. Here's what they don't tell you about divorce. It's not just the end of a relationship. It's the death of an entire identity. Think about it. The person you were, husband, wife, partner, soulmate, that person doesn't exist anymore. You don't just lose your spouse. You lose the version of yourself that existed with them. The jokes you told together, no one else thinks are funny. The routines you built over years, shattered overnight. The future you planned, kids' graduations, retirement trips, growing old together, erased. Not postponed, erased. And here's the most devastating part. It's a heartbreak mixed with paperwork. There's no funeral for closure, no casket to gather around, no final goodbye where everyone cries together and then slowly, collectively, starts to heal. Instead, you're filling out forms about who gets the dog. You're dividing up memories like furniture. You're calculating who hurt who more in a courtroom that doesn't care about broken hearts. And somewhere between signing your name and walking out of that building, you stop recognizing yourself in the mirror. Now, let's talk about what's actually happening inside your head. Because this isn't just poetry, this is neuroscience. In 2011, researchers at Columbia University made a groundbreaking discovery. They put people who'd recently gone through devastating breakups into an fMRI machine and showed them photos of their ex-partners. And what they found was shocking. The same brain regions that light up when you burn your hand on a stove, the anterior cingulate cortex, and the insula, those exact same areas activated when looking at someone who broke their heart. Your brain literally believes you're hurt. Not metaphorically, not poetically. Neurologically, you're in pain. Real, measurable, physical pain. But here's where divorce gets even more brutal. According to research from Stanford University and Harvard Medical School, post-divorce depression can last longer and cut deeper than grief from death. Why? Because with death, you get closure. The person is gone. But with divorce, they're choosing not to be with you anymore. And your brain interprets that as rejection, which, evolutionarily speaking, used to mean death. Thousands of years ago, being rejected by your tribe meant you die alone in the wilderness. So your brain treats romantic rejection like a survival threat. It floods your system with cortisol, shuts down your prefrontal cortex, and keeps you in fight or flight mode, sometimes for years. You're not weak for feeling this pain. You're human, and your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do. Scream at you that something vital has been lost. But let's be honest, divorce doesn't just break hearts. It breaks routines. It breaks bank accounts. It breaks the entire architecture of your life. The average cost of divorce in America? Over $12,000. And that's just the legal fees. That doesn't include the house you had to sell at a loss, the retirement account you had to split, the years of financial recovery ahead. But you know what costs even more than money? Losing stability. Waking up and not knowing what your life is supposed to look like anymore. Every object becomes a memory. Every room echoes with conversations you'll never have again. And the worst part? The world keeps spinning. Bills still come. Your job still expects you to show up and be functional. Your kids still need dinner. But inside, you're drowning. And then there's the social devastation. Friends pick sides, usually without telling you which side they chose. You just stop getting invited. Families whisper. His mother stops calling. Her friends post vague things online that you know are about you. Suddenly, you're a stranger in your own story. The couple friends don't know what to do with you anymore. Single friends don't get what you're going through. And you're just floating, unmoored, a ghost in your own life. This is the part no one prepared you for. The loneliness isn't romantic. It's not a movie montage with sad songs. It's brutal, disorienting, and it makes you question everything you thought you knew about yourself. Now, here's the secret truth that most people never figure out, even years after divorce. You're not missing your partner. Not really. You're missing who you thought they were. And more importantly, you're missing who you were when you were with them. Think about it. Close your eyes for a second and remember, who were you on your wedding day? What did you believe about love? About forever? About yourself? That person had hope. That person believed in happy endings. That person looked at their partner and saw a lifetime of inside jokes, lazy Sundays, growing old together. And now, that person feels naive, foolish, like they missed some obvious warning sign everyone else could see. You're not grieving your ex. You're grieving potential. The future you'll never have. The children who won't have both parents in every photo. The anniversary trips that'll never happen. The inside jokes that died with the marriage. And this is why divorce traps people in 3 different ways. Number 1, the ones who stay trapped in the past. They replay every conversation, every fight, every moment wondering what if I adjust. They turn their pain into an identity. They become the divorced person, and they wear it like armor that slowly crushes them. Number 2, the ones who rebound too fast. They can't sit with the pain, so they sprint toward anything that feels like love. New relationship, new city, new body, new them. Anything to avoid looking in the mirror and facing what's broken inside. They're not healing. They're running. And one day, they wake up in someone else's bed and realize they brought all the same wounds with them. And number 3, the quiet rebuilders. These are the people who do something extraordinary. They sit with the pain. They let it transform them. They don't rush to fix it or forget it. They let it teach them. They're the ones who, 5 years later, you run into at a coffee shop and they look different. Not just older, deeper, like they've been somewhere difficult and came back with wisdom. So which one are you? Which one do you want to be? Okay, so we've talked about the pain, the science, the devastation. Now let's talk about the part that actually matters. How do you survive this? How do you stop feeling like a shell of who you used to be? First, let me tell you what doesn't work. Pretending you're fine. Forcing yourself to date. Listening to people who say just move on like grief has an expiration date. Numbing yourself with work, alcohol, or endless Netflix binges. Stalking their social media to see if they're hurting as much as you are. Real healing? It starts with one simple shift in perspective. Stop asking why they did it. Start asking what this taught me. Because here's the truth. You'll never get the closure you think you need. They'll never apologize the way you deserve. The explanation will never make sense. You'll never wake up one day and think, oh, now I understand why they destroyed our life together. So stop waiting for them to give you peace. You have to build it yourself. From scratch. In the ruins of what used to be. And here's how you do it. 1. Rewrite your story. Stop being the victim of their choices. Start being the hero of your own comeback. This isn't about what they took from you. It's about what you're going to build now that you're free. 2. Rediscover who you were before them. What did you love before you became we? What dreams did you abandon to make the relationship work? Go find that person again. They're still in there, waiting. 3. Let yourself be broken for a while. Stop performing strength for people who don't understand. Cry in your car. Scream into pillows. Write angry letters you'll never send. Feel everything, because the only way out of pain is through it. 4. Build a new life, not a replacement life. Don't try to recreate what you had. Create something better, something that's entirely yours. And 5. Understand that healing isn't linear. You'll have good days where you feel strong, Then you'll smell their cologne in a crowd and fall apart in a grocery store. That's not failure. That's being human. Pain changes people. That's not a maybe, it's a guarantee. But here's what you get to choose. Does it destroy you? Or does it rebuild you into someone stronger than you ever thought possible? Sometimes you don't move on. You move forward. And that's not just okay. That's everything. One day, and I can't tell you when, because it's different for everyone, but one day, you'll wake up and their name won't sting anymore. You'll hear a song that used to wreck you, and you'll just feel nothing. Not anger, not sadness, just neutrality. And it'll surprise you how quiet that moment is. One day, you'll laugh at a joke and realize you forgot to wonder if they'd think it was funny too. You'll make plans for the future without that reflexive pang of we were supposed to do this together. The memories won't control your heartbeat anymore. They'll just be memories. Part of your story, but not the ending. Not even close to the ending. And that's how you'll know. Not through some grand epiphany. Not through meeting someone new. You'll know you survived because their absence stops being the loudest thing in the room. If you're watching this right now, wherever you are in your journey, whether it's day 3 or year 3, I want you to hear this. You didn't fail. You didn't fail at love. You didn't fail at marriage. You didn't miss some obvious sign. You're not broken, damaged, or too much, or not enough. You just outgrew someone who couldn't keep growing with you. And that's not a tragedy. That's evolution. Some people are meant to be in your life forever. And some people are meant to teach you what you're capable of surviving. Both are valuable. Both matter. This is not the end of your story. This is not even the saddest chapter. This is your second beginning. And everything is still possible. This is not the end. It's your second beginning. And you're going to be okay.